I'm Jade McNeil, and welcome to the B Space podcast, your bi-weekly dose of business and property realness. No hype, no fluff, and definitely no BS. Just honest conversations about what it really takes to build something from nothing. Sam,
Jade,
welcome back to the podcast. Not long been on.
Yes, thanks for having me back so soon.
This is a bit of an exciting one though, isn't it, if we're honest?
Incredibly exciting. It's been something that's been in my mind for such a long time. And it's just testament to if you want something bad enough, you usually get it. So
you manifest it. So obviously you and I were talking about that we've just launched our brand new business and property mastermind program called Elevate to 8.
hooray.
Yeah. So a bit of background then. Sam and I have been having a talk, chatting about should we do a mastermind together for pretty much a year, haven't we, in total?
Yeah. I've been thinking about it, but even longer than that. But since we sparked the conversation between us, we've been working on it in some capacity. But I think we've been just trying to make sure that we get all the elements right, make sure it works for both of us, make sure it's going to work for all the people we're going to be working with. And as I've been telling you every time we mention the time it's been taking, is that good things come to those who wait and persevere.
Do you know when we originally started talking about it, like earlier on in 2024? Did you underestimate what it takes to create something like that and kind of roll it out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think from the outside looking in, people think that putting these sorts of programs together, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. If you want to do something properly, usually you do have to put a fair amount of effort, thought into it to make it work. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it with you, actually. It was because everything that you have always done has always been to a really, really good standard, including the mastermind that I did with you that helped me out immensely. So it's no surprise that it took as much effort and thought that it did, and it took as much time. But I'm really happy with the result.
Yeah, me too. So if anyone that doesn't know that sat there going, I've got no idea what you two are on about, because we've obviously been living under a rock over the Christmas New Year period. Tell us a little bit, Sam, about what our wonderful new program is all about.
So Elevate to 8 is an opportunity for like-minded, aspirational property investors or developers and or business owners to join us on a 12-month program or longer on a rolling program whereby they can help themselves get into the mindset, surround themselves with the people and the resources to get their businesses to the 8-figure mark.
Yeah, man. And also, like, it's happening. The group sessions are happening, and this was something when me and you first started talking. It was like this. My instincts told me if I'm going to do another mastermind program, I'm going to go down south. I'm going to leave the countryside. Then there's only one place in the UK that'll do it, and that is in Shoreditch in East London. And guess what? You're an East London boy as well, aren't you? Like, not born and bred, but you did grow up there.
Well, I from the age of 18, I've always been in and around East London. So from going to uni and around there, to getting my first estate agency job in East London. My folks lived in East London. I've always been in and around North and East London. When I say North London, we're talking about kind of Finsbury Park and Haringey, but mainly, I mean, you know, Andy, who I work with as an estate agent, and built a property portfolio with. We worked out of Stoke Newington, which is the borough of Hackney. So it's very much close to my heart. And as much as West London is the place where kind of aspiring people go when they've made a bit of money, I think East London is where it's all reminds me of the Northeast, kind of down to earth, hard work, kind of warehousey, industrial vibes, where the real work gets done, where the real heavy lifting gets done. And I've seen that area of London as well transform as well. Since 2001, even areas like Brick Lane, Shoreditch, Liverpool Street, which didn't have all the fancy buildings that it has today back in 2001. I've seen how much it's evolved, how much investment's gone into it. And it's, it's a place especially close to my heart for sure. And my daughter was born in East London as well.
Oh, Oh, I mean, for me, it's like that was the only place I was ever going to choose, right? Because obviously I have to do everything differently. Um, I love Box Park is in Shoreditch. That's the original one, which is one of, as I was
Yeah.
explaining to you when we were there, it's like one of my kind of like benchmark establishments that's always inspired me from a design and innovation point of view. So like it feels really natural for me to go and kind of be there. You know, it's edgy, it's creative, like the art, the graffiti. And I just think I look at all of that and I think about particularly the property development space. And I think nobody has incorporated that. Everybody, when they've gone down into London, has done exactly what you've just said, gone to the West, glitz, glamour, all of that bells and whistles stuff. And actually, like, I'm not like that. I would never feel natural there. Whereas I want to be with the art, the creative people, the edgy people, the interesting people. And guess what? There's loads of people in the business and property space that also want that. When I ran my previous mastermind for 3.5 years, and one of the core things that worked there was the environment that it was in, because wherever you are, when you're in that mastermind zone, you absorb your environment, where you are, and kind of like the surroundings, not just the room you sat in, but like the energy of the area, the vibe. And I just think that like Shoreditch, East London, it just gives you something that nowhere else in the UK can. And that for me was something like, if I'm going to do this, this is what I want to facilitate for members. Obviously, like, the program for us is group, in Shoreditch, face to face. There's some one-to-one in there, there's accountability and support, but we are also going to be delivering like some insane social events, right? Like, where are you going to get a better
Yeah, yeah.
experiential things than in East London? I can't wait. Like, literally, my senses are ready for it, and I want to deliver that for other people and give them the opportunity to come down, take some time out for them, like immerse themselves in vibe and just kind of grow and flourish, really, but in an edgy, super cool environment.
Absolutely. East London is a playground for adults, and it's
Oh, I love
you've
that.
got
It is, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. It's but it's also got that serious business vibe to it as well. Like I said,
Mm.
so many people have made, I mean, good money out of real estate over the last 20 years from East London, and it's just got some really, really cool, funky, trendy places to hang out and just do things slightly differently. I think a lot of the um fancy hotel and Mayfair kind of stuff's already been done. This
Mm.
is the chance for something slightly different for those people that want something different.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you mentioned hotels there. I mean, we're hosting, aren't we, at the Hoxton in Shoreditch? That's
which
where we're
is
running it
which
from.
is which is which is a really cool, trendy hotel.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the original one of the Hoxton group as well. So it's the OG of the hotels. I mean, it's one of those things, if you know, right, about the
Yeah,
Hoxton Shoreditch. So like we're not partnering up, but yeah, we're that's where bi-monthly we'll be hosting our group sessions for our members. So that's really exciting. So another part of our program, Sam, obviously, is to bring in like industry experts for them to guide and support. Now, like, what sort of people are we talking about here?
so we've got from developers to planning consultants to solicitors to structural engineers, whatever you may need. You've got obviously finance brokers from my side. I've been able to spend the last 20 plus years in London building my property portfolio and business, and I've met some phenomenal people along the way that many of them have become business partners and or friends. So I tap into their knowledge wherever, whenever necessary. It's one of those things that, having been doing property for over 20 years, I consider myself relatively knowledgeable. I must have
Mhm.
picked up a few things along the way. But just like any normal human being, you can't know absolutely everything. So if I don't know something, usually I'm really confident that I know somebody that will be able to give me that answer, and I've not been proved wrong yet. I get regular clients from Meriox actually reach out to me and say, I had one recently saying, do you have a structural engineer? I'm trying to do something small in my property in North London, and I was able to point them in the right direction. So we've got all of the property professionals now. On the flip side as well, we've also got business professionals as well that not necessarily in the property space. And I think that also gives you a nice breath of fresh air, that there are a lot of transferable skills. So whether you are a huge influencer, and then there's one particular chap that I know that's got, over 500,000 followers, and does really well out of sponsorship deals, and just has a different way of operating things. But when it comes to creating content and getting yourself out there and optimizing the efforts that you're putting in, knows like what he doesn't know is not worth knowing. And he's a #1 bestseller in books and all sorts. And then there's a bunch of other 8-figure business owners that are, whether they're in tech or whether they're in property. These are the people that I've been surrounding myself with, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, that would be more than happy to share some time with the people that we've got on our mastermind.
Yeah, I think at the core of the program as well is, I guess it's our stories and kind of what we've been up to over the years and what we've built. So obviously both you and I got the property side, which is the common thing that we've got and we've done and been working on, but also we've got other businesses, haven't we? And I think like when we both reflected about what's worked over the years for us both, it was actually that we've both created multiple streams of income from the property related businesses. So that's like what we want to facilitate for our members, that we can arm them with the knowledge, and the skills to be able to do the same as us, because you and I both believe, don't we, especially now in like 2025, God knows what's coming towards us, that having multiple streams of income is, it's about protection and like survival and longevity. So you need people around you to be able to do that. You need your experts in your armory. You need to have a clear strategy of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's really at the core of our mastermind program.
100%. I think there's two schools of thought. One is to have one bucket and make sure it's not leaky, and just do one thing really, really well, niche down, that sort of thing. And I think that's really good up to a certain point, once you've got that first income flow coming in. But after that, then you've got to start thinking into verticals. You've got to start thinking into, how can I have complementary businesses, income streams alongside? How can I have one marketing team do maybe more than one thing at one time to make it just a bit more cost effective across the board and spread some costs out? So there's so many different reasons why you'd want to do multiple streams of income, but I do think that it is always good to nail one down first and then kind of move into the next ones, rather than chasing too many shiny pennies all at the same time. But once you're at that stage where you are ready to take that next step and create that multiple stream of income, there is a bit of a mindset shift. There is a bit of especially if you want to start operating on the level that the 8-figure business owners and operators are operating on. And I think we're going to be well placed to share those insights with our masterminders.
Yeah, definitely. This episode of the B Space podcast is kindly sponsored by the wonderful people at Landlord Furniture Co. Specialising in a huge range of high-quality bespoke furniture, Landlord Furniture Co. provides durable pieces designed to last in your rental properties. If you're searching for the perfect furniture to attract professional HMO tenants, or need more resilient pieces for your student accommodations, considering cost-effective furniture packs for a larger property, or looking for something more personalised to elevate your serviced accommodation brand, whatever your need, Landlord Furniture Co. will craft a solution for you. You can say goodbye to rubbish old flat packs and start investing in a luxurious experience for your tenants. Backed by a 3-year warranty and exceptional customer service, they really are the smart choice for any landlord or property developer out there who takes their properties, their tenants and their business seriously. So ready to transform your spaces with Landlord Furniture Co. and ensure that your investments stand out in the market? Visit Landlord Furniture Co. today at www.landlordfurnitureco.co.uk, or you can head to their showroom, which is in Oldham, or find them over on Instagram at Landlord Furniture Co. Now, let's get back to the episode. So who's the program perfect for, Sam?
So if you're a property investor or a developer and you've been doing it for some time and you're quite satisfied with what you've got and you're looking for the next wave, but you might be a little bit disheartened with the way the property market's gone over the last 10 years, and you feel like landlords are getting bashed and, there's more taxes coming out from, planning and this, that, and the other, and it's just all getting a little bit on top of you and it's a little bit harder, then there's a good chance that you would prefer to start a business, a trading business, transactional business, and something within the line of work that you're in, whether you want to be a coach, whether you're an architect by background or a finance broker even, and you've been doing lots of development, you might want to think about starting a business. On the flip side, if you are a finance broker, if you are an architect and you are a planning consultant and you've been doing these sorts of things, you've or any other business, you've really built a good quality business over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then you may want to start thinking about having a property portfolio and what that looks like, building it from today for the next 10 years, rather than what we've done, which is start building it kind of 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And at every stage over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, building the property portfolio looked very different. So when I started in 2001, it was all about buy-to-lets. They worked really well and they were absolutely fantastic, and you can get 100% mortgages, etc. Fast forward to 2015, when I started buying even more, that all of that wasn't available, wasn't even a good idea. Interest rates were at rock bottom. They were only going to go one way. So having high yielding income producing assets were the way. Fast forward another 10 years to 2025, which is when this program will kick off. There is a new way of doing it. And we'll be able to share what opportunities, what doors are open for anybody that's looking to build that generational wealth of having that property income. A lot of people, we discussed it recently on another podcast, that property has taken a bit of a beating over the last 10 years. There's no hiding that fact. But it still is, in my opinion, in the UK, where we've got the supply and demand imbalance, one of the best asset classes to build over the long term and to have as generational wealth for the rest of your family.
So to be clear, Elevate to 8 really is for two groups of people. One is somebody that's, a strong operational business owner, might not own much property or minimal property, but wants to invest into some. So you've got a strong business background already. Or the other person might be, they've started the business, but they really want to grow and scale it up towards and beyond those 8 figures. And they're the two schools of people that this mastermind is going to be really, really beneficial for. Because Sam and I think that, gone are the days where, property is the only thing that you should focus on. It's not the smart way to look at kind of your assets that you're building out. And we see property as an asset, your businesses are your assets. Like, we're looking at the whole lot, aren't we? And
absolutely. I mean, you might want to, and you might want to go a little bit further. You might want to have some foreign currency in there. Might have some crypto in there, and I do hold a bunch of those. So it's about creating that multiple stream of income, and by the end of the program, you will have a multiple. You'll be able to look at everything that you're doing and see income coming from different streams, so that you can hedge, rainy days, economic downturns, and also just compound that growth that you've been building for so long. Because sometimes things get stale, sometimes your motivation lacks. Economic changes, political changes, rule changes take a little bit of the fizzle out of, that flame that you might have had at some point. So just changing it up a little bit is, I think, to be encouraged. And again, I've noticed it from a number of people that have done really, really good stuff, including you and I. And it's time for more people to share in that.
Yeah, because just focusing on property alone, there is no holy grail strategy, is there? We've seen it, like over the period that you and I have known each other. It's gone, this is the thing, that's not the thing anymore, that's not the thing, that doesn't work anymore. So it's kind of just, really taking that long-term view on everything that you've got and making sure that it's not all or nothing, basically.
Yeah, because it never is. I've got a good example of a guy that I actually met a few months ago. Really good guy. He has his own contracting company, so he does a lot of property development, some really cool designer style HMOs up in the Northwest. And I think it was his cousin started like a ghost kitchen in Manchester doing burgers, and they're turning over $1 million a month. So they brought him in to be the property guy to go and find new venues across the country in industrial estates, as well as start the franchise process.
Yeah, and that's incredible.
And in Hong Kong, I was doing food, beverage, hospitality. I opened up new venues from Hong Kong to Vietnam. So I understand how that process goes and how to build those types of businesses as well. And it just totally makes sense. You don't necessarily need to be 100% drawn into one particular thing. It's like, I use the analogy of football a lot, because if you've got a footballer like myself that can only use his left foot, You can only
Mm.
score so many goals, right? But you can score with your right foot, you can score with your head, you can score from free kicks inside the box. You've got to be able to do more than one thing. So it's just doing HMOs or just doing commercial conversions. You want to be able to do different types of property investments. You want to be able to also spread your risk and your time into multiple streams of business income as well.
Absolutely. Obviously, 2024, we launched the Builder's Yard, which is
Mm.
our another bolt onto our business portfolio. And that's an online builders merchants for materials. Because obviously, like for me, what I've got in my armory is construction business, which is what, 14 years, I think now, that creates like luxury family homes, probably million plus GDV when they're done in Nottingham. And now we've got the retail, and then obviously we've got the developments and the lettings and the consultancy and the digital. So there's quite a few different things in there, but they're all related. They've all
Yeah,
got
exactly.
property right at the heart of it. It's all about buildings. So it's kind of like, that was built from nothing. So Tim was a day rate bricklayer, and I was working in the head office for a retail brand, and we've done all of this in not that long of a time really, but it's not easy, is it? Creating multiple streams of income. You've got to be surrounded by the right people. You've got to ask the right questions. You've got to learn from the mistakes, and I think that's the power of our collaboration, is that we bring that experience to the table
Yeah.
and can give a lot of insights about the highs and the lows of being business owners and property developers.
Nothing worthwhile is easy. And I think aside from the experience, we also bring a lot of passion, not only
Mm.
for business, not only for property, but also for people. And
Mhm.
I absolutely get a kick out of helping other people, further themselves. I had a lot of help, I must admit. My parents and my best friend's dad was a big mentor to me from a very young age. And it feels good to be able to share the journey and share those that enthusiasm for business and property for other people. And along the way as well, this is one of the reasons why I love business so much, is that you create employment, you create work for other people,
Yep, you
and those
do.
people earn something, and then they pull themselves out of poverty, and the whole economy and the whole society moves forward. So it's just on so many levels, it's great.
I'm not going to get my soapbox out about the charlatans in the industry, but I'll just touch on it quickly. There's a lot of rubbish, isn't there? Online content in and around property development. There's a lot of it in business as well. Gurus, you know, 10x's, all of that jazz. And I think it's just, and I know it's other people online from people I speak to as well. They've just had enough of all the crap and all the jargon. And I want anyone to know that's listening to this conversation between you and I that Elevate to 8 is none of that. It genuinely is a completely authentic program that's run by two people that have built everything they've got from scratch, that have been there, done that, and are still wearing the t-shirt. And what we're not doing, right? What we're not doing is we're not saying to people, come on this course for 12 months, I'll make you a millionaire. It's like, no, like let's get real here. There is not a golden bullet. It takes time, it takes the compounding effect. And then that is what will get you looking up towards and beyond those 8 figures.
Absolutely. I mean, business is all about sales, marketing, product, finance, and operations.
Mhm.
And if you can nail those things from a startup, from a one-man band, and start building a team around it, eventually you'll get to the multiple streams of income. But it certainly doesn't take a 12-month course to be able to
No.
get to achieve that. Or at least I haven't experienced that. And of course, you might get as well. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. There might be the exception to the rule, the unicorn, the one that kind of makes it out. But that's not for everybody to be the benchmark. Like not everyone is going to become a Facebook or a Google or it just doesn't work like that. But what we can certainly provide assurances is that if you follow a certain number of steps, you will be able to create multiple streams of income. You will be able to create a
Mhm.
property portfolio. This stuff has been tried and tested. And if you surround yourself with the right people, follow the right steps, you will get there and without a shadow of a doubt.
So obviously, I'd love to invite anyone that's interested to come and join us at the Hoxton on the 24th of January, where we will be hosting a day workshop together, right?
Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well.
So in the workshop, Sam and I will be, discussing a little bit about us and kind of our stories in the background. And then we'll be really knuckling down into kind of like brand, into property development, and kind of like where the market's going to go, and just like loads of stuff that we just know is going to be really relevant to people at that point. So if you're interested, you're listening to this and you're interested, links for tickets for that are below in the show notes. Fingers crossed. And yeah, we'd really like to, meet anybody that's, thinking about joining our Elevate to 8 program in January.
Yeah, it's all about business, all about people. And I literally can't wait. I've been, from the finance stuff that we do to the property stuff, the property management, the developments, planning, all of that stuff's great. And, it has its highs and its lows. But I've found since doing property people as well, just for sitting down with people and really getting to know them, really getting to support them and help them. And I've been doing some sessions with people that require a little bit more help, whether it be raising private finance or how to grow a portfolio or how to find deals and all that sort of stuff. And I just get a huge satisfaction out of it. So I can't wait to meet everybody on the one day. And I certainly can't wait to spend 12 months and beyond with a really good cohort of masterminders.
Yeah, so that kicks off the end of February 2025. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening to Sam and I talk today. Hopefully, it really helps to frame what Elevate to 8's all about, where the idea came from, why we're doing it, what it means to us, and what positive effects we feel the program's going to have on our members. So if you want to come and hang out with us in East London on the regular, then you know what to do. Reach out. The page for Elevate to 8 is also below, so you can see all the details. Then you can apply, and then you can book in a one-to-one call with Sam or I. You can choose your favorite and have a chat about the program and answer any questions. All right.
Can't wait. I'm super duper excited.
All right then, Sam. I'll see you soon in Shoreditch.
See you soon.
That's a wrap for another episode of the Be Space podcast. I've been your host, Jade McNeil, property developer, mentor, and business coach. Don't forget to subscribe on your favourite platforms. And until next time, remember, don't believe the hype and always keep it real.